How y'all doing out there? This is another episode of the Whatever Trevor podcast. And I got two pillars of the community, you know, black love at its finest is what I like to say. Married for 35 plus years, the Crocksons. Y'all like to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Floyd Crockson. I am a Navy veteran, retired from SciTech Engineered Materials. And beside me is my better half, my wife. She can go ahead.
Hello, my name is Carmen Crockson. I am currently employed with the VA hospital at Perry Point. And again, I'm sitting here next to my husband, the king of the castle.
Y'all hear that? That'll never be said about me. So, no, I just play.
That's a first.
Okay, so I said there are pillars in the community because one thing that everybody establishes them with is the youth programs in Aberdeen, Maryland. So y'all want to talk a little bit about that before we, dive into the,
Yeah, we can. I was president of Aberdeen Parks and Rec basketball. I started out as coaching and took the program over with my partner, Steve Davis. We ran it together. I guess we've been actually doing this for 30 years. So it's been real. And this year, I decided to give it up and relax and be retired. So, not saying that that's going to be the end of it because they're trying to get me back. So, we'll see what happens.
much needed.
Yeah. It is.
And with that being said, I came aboard. Floyd, again, has been doing the program for quite some time. I didn't come in until later on, and I began to start doing concessions, which I love concessions because it gives me an opportunity to speak to the parents, speak to the children, speak to the coaches. And again, I'm a people person, and I just love the word community. And I appreciate everything that my husband and Steve have done in the community as far as Parks and Recreation. And yes, I am trying to bring him back out of retirement so him and Steve can do some things.
A lot of things.
A lot of work to be done. A lot of work.
But it's going to get done, though. So, okay, so 35 plus years. So actually, how long have you guys been married?
Be 36 years, July 30th of this year.
Y'all got anything planned? Y'all going to do something big? Or?
No. All the big stuff has been gone. So we just enjoy one another now. So,
That's all you can do.
yeah, what life gives us. So that's
So family, how many kids and how many grandkids y'all got?
3 kids and 5 grandkids.
Yes,
Kids, 41, 35,
34
34,
and 33.
and 33. Okay. Soon to be 35, 34.
Yes, yes.
5 grandkids, 15.
Jaden is 15, Mariah is 10, Maya is 9, Jace is 5.
Maya's not 9.
I'm sorry.
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie is 9. Jace is 5, and Maya is 3. So again, yes, 3 kids, 5 grandchildren.
We're going to have that episode, too.
Yeah.
The Crocs and grandchildren. It's going to be one you don't want to miss.
The
Okay,
G5.
so out of you two, who you think talks more?
She does. That's a known fact.
Because I have a lot to say. I am very extroverted, and he's introvert, and of course you
No, I
need
just-
both of them.
I watch
So again, I
myself.
like to talk.
I watch my surroundings.
I'm not so much the person that I don't really like. I don't want to say watch my surroundings. He does. I'm very open. I'm like an open book.
I'm observant. Yeah, very. So, yeah.
Okay, so who fell in love first?
Of course she did.
I did.
Head over heels?
I think we were, at the time, I think we were, what is it, 14 to 15?
It wasn't
It wasn't love. I guess it was like infatuation, I guess you would call that. Yeah, but when I saw him, I was just like, oh
I
my
didn't pay
God.
any attention. Didn't pay her any attention, so she just had to have it. That's where it started.
Okay, so how'd y'all meet?
At a party in a junkyard. Yeah, strange, huh?
A junkyard, like where you get scrap metal and stuff?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, down in Perryman.
It's
You know,
located on 40.
Yeah, with Norman's, it was.
And that's where y'all met for the first time.
Well, we knew each other, but I mean, in that light, yeah, that was the first time.
So it was
I
like-
think she, yeah, I was doing things I didn't have any business doing at the time, and I got sick, so. And she was rubbing my head.
I was comforting him
Yeah.
That was all it took. Huh?
at a young age.
And I still really didn't, I was like, get off me. No, it was.
So when y'all's first impression of each other.
Well, again, like I said, we knew of each other because her dad was my 5th grade school teacher. So we knew of each other through a program we used to go, was called Family Night, right? Mm-hmm. And it was at Halls Crossroads Elementary. And her dad ran that program. So she used to come in and, but I really never talked to her like that. We just, family night, we go and we hang out and then we go home. So.
Think we ever had nothing like that.
Yeah, so. Yeah, that went, I don't know when family night stopped.
Yeah, I don't know when it stopped, but it was very.
Yeah, I mean, it was
a
great.
very good. It was a very good program.
And it'd be great to have something like that now for the kids, but
And be
something that needs to be looked at in the community.
Yeah, it's
we
gonna
had
take a
things-
village for that one.
Yeah, well, we
Yes.
had things where we played pool and ping pong. And they had arts and crafts, and we played basketball. Things that it was good.
And my attraction to Floyd was the fact that he was quiet. He was never loud. He was never the loudest one in the room. He was always quiet. So I was very attracted to that. It was it's kind of like, you get all these attention from guys, and it's just one guy like, okay, well, why isn't he paying attention to me? I don't want to talk to them. I want to talk to him.
So that's how it kind of was.
I want
Huh?
to win him.
So in the relationship early on, did y'all know y'all had something special? Like early on, or?
We had talked about this, but
Yeah, we talked about that.
I don't even think we knew what special was. We were just so young, So, as time went on, as we grew to know each other and grew to be with each other and have feelings for each other, you got to learn to treat each other special, So, special in our eyes was just, being together, having, just having a love for one another. And, God overall in our relationship has been the pillar for us. So, he let us know we were special. So it really didn't matter from that point.
Yeah, it didn't matter, but yeah.
Because, like we were just talking, at that age, we didn't know what special was, I guess we had to find out because we were doing things that the average 14 and
15-year-olds
15-year-olds shouldn't
been
be.
doing.
But again, that's,
You live and you learn.
yeah, you live and you learn. So.
Okay, so what were the earlier years of the relationship and marriage like? Because I know you said that he was in the Navy, so you was
At home.
at home.
Yes, with the children.
Yeah.
For me, it was an adjustment. I think it's one thing when people are, born into the military, but we were just like thrust into the military. And getting out to California for the first time, moving 2,000 miles away from home and not having family, was a lot. And then on top of that, when I got there, I thought that at that point I was going to go back to work. I didn't see myself as a stay-at-home mom. But again, that's how it happened. And when I got there, I got pregnant with Darius.
Yeah, second.
Because we already had Devron. We had Devron when we were like 18 and 19. We had Devron. And so then here comes Darius at that time. I think I was 26 or 25. And so that was just new. So it was a stress on the marriage. And when I say stress, I don't even say a stress on the marriage because now we find out he's getting orders to go overseas. So I hadn't even been in California, not even a year.
And granted, that's not how it was supposed to be.
But in that
It
field,
ended up-
it never goes how it's supposed to be,
So
right?
we got married on the way to California. She was just supposed to come out, see how it was, and
Come on back home.
Didn't work that way. We ended up getting married in Texas at we stopped off at her brother's. And that's where we got married, in Killeen, Texas. So we, in transit, and then we went on to California, and that's where it began. And
It was a growing up process for me.
was-
Because we didn't have anybody. We didn't have family. We had each other.
Did that make it stronger?
That made it stronger. And granted that during that time, it probably was difficult for him because it was difficult for me. So he wanted to send me back home and was like, okay, well, I'm gonna send you back home. But I said no, because when I left from here, it was, I'm leaving from here and I'm this wife and we have these children and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be a mother, I'm gonna be a wife.
And when we got there, when we get there in August, we left in July, we got there in August. And I think I found out that that's when the Gulf was starting to kick off, the Gulf War. So I think it was, you hadn't been there 2 months. I think it was 2-3 months, and I was gone. So we're newlyweds, she's out with our son. She doesn't know anybody, and here I'm gone for 6 months. So that was a real, eye-opener for the both of us, because now here I'm gone. She's in California, nobody's there.
So you hold it down, right?
Yeah, and then it was, oh my gracious,
It was a transition. I mean, it was a time, but again, I don't think I would take from anything that we've gone through because it's made us who we are
Right.
today.
it built trust, and again, it built and I guess you can say, through it all, that's what really taught us what love was, being separated for that period of time.
So was that like the biggest adjustment y'all think y'all had to make?
Yes, because Floyd didn't come back home until I was get ready to give birth. So I went through my whole pregnancy by myself.
Yeah.
So my entire pregnancy was by myself, and he did not get. And then what happened is I was beginning to start having complications. So they sent back then they used to send the Red Cross. They send the messages, and then what they did was at that point I think he was out to sea, so he had to wait for a helicopter to actually come get him to bring him back home, so he could be there for the birth of Darius. And then at the time when he came home, I was looking for like, oh my God, my husband's home. This is exciting. Because now I'm a military wife and I'm listening to women say when their husbands will come back in, I can't wait till he leave back out. Now I'm looking at them like, you're not happy to see your husband? I'm happy to see my husband. But Floyd wasn't the same because he had experienced some things over there. During that time, he was supposed to come, when he was on his way back, they circled him to go to Bangladesh because there was a typhoon that had hit. And the young lady that I had met, she had told me when your husband comes back, he's not going to be the same because he's going to see some things, some dead people, some things. And sure enough, he was different. He was different. So that was another transition.
Yeah, and you learn to live with it. And like I say, all those things together, it builds your relationship and to a stronger point. It brings you together, And yeah, it was an experience for us.
Sure, I can imagine. I remember one of the guys I used to work with. He said, whatever that last war we had was, where they was sending like the stuff back to like a warehouse on post and you'd have to clean it. He said he'd have to
Afghanistan?
yeah, he would have to scrape out membranes from people's helmets, and he said it was kind of like not something he
Deborah
wished.
used to work there too.
Yeah, that was,
Yeah, he said it's not something he would ever want to do again.
Seeing, that's something, death is not very pleasing to the eye at all. Yeah, it's different.
I can imagine. So, was there anything when you guys first got married that surprised you about each other? Like, oh, I didn't know you did that. Like,
I'll speak for myself.
You should.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
No, I'm trying to remember what he said.
He said that, was there anything surprising, right?
Surprising.
You said,
like yeah,
that
like
we
you guys
learned to-
figured out once y'all got married about each other.
She didn't cook.
Oh, no.
Hey y'all, let me get in the camera. Where's the camera at?
Right there.
I don't
She
cook.
Yeah, she didn't.
Okay,
She didn't cook.
my husband is the cook, and he knew that when he married
I
me.
did not know that.
Did you? Okay. Did you? You didn't know it to that certain extent.
Huh?
You knew maybe she to that extent. Like, oh, you really don't cook.
Well, yeah, after coming home, not seeing nothing on the table. Yeah.
That's a eye
Now I will cook some breakfast. Now I cook breakfast now, but all
She
that
cook-
other little fancy
She
stuff.
make a mean breakfast. Mean
And I
pancakes.
fry some chicken,
chicken
and I
and
fry
some
some fish.
Yeah, she'll do that. She ain't fried none in a while.
It sound like it need a reunion in the house.
That might be tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
But yeah.
What about for you? Is there one thing that?
That about Floyd that surprised me. What surprised me about Floyd was the fact that when there's something going on and he's trying to figure it out, he goes into a cave. And the first time he went into a cave, it was like, whoa, this man is not talking. He's not saying anything. What's going on here? And I called his mom and I asked her.
Man issues.
Yes. I called his mom and I asked her, and she told me, she was like, at this time, she said there's some things that's going on that he's trying to figure out, and she said he'll come back out of it. Matter of fact, we had this conversation today. And what I should have done was I feel like I should have set boundaries. When I say boundaries, because 1 day leads to 2 days, leads to 3 days, leads to 4 days, leads to 5 days. You're inside of this cave. And at that point, being young, I was just like, oh, she said he'll come back out. So, I was like, okay, he'll eventually be back out. But that was really shocking to me. That was something that I didn't, yeah.
You probably never had to deal with either.
I did not.
You said your father.
He was
a conversationalist.
Yeah, my dad's a
Shout out to
conversation piece.
Mr. Cromwell.
Yeah, he's a conversation piece.
And
so,
Mrs. Cromwell.
Yes.
It was good for her though, really, because she never, a lot of the things that I was trying to figure out, I don't think she really wanted to deal with.
Gotcha.
But at the same token, let me interject here.
As
As a helpmate, and now again, I'm young in the marriage, but as a helpmate, I feel like your spouse, your husband, should tell you what's going on with you. It's called communication at the end of the day. So we're in this together. We're not separate, we're one. So what affects you affects me and vice versa. So there should be a conversation, not, oh, I'm putting this on my wife and I don't want her to feel like, not to say that he felt like that, like I'm being weak as a man and I can't handle the things that need to be handled. No, as a wife, you should open up and have that conversation with me, not have me on the outskirts trying to figure out what's going on with you.
Well, that's true. It works. And from my point of view, I'm looking at it like, okay, here we are into this thing. And at the time now, she's not working.
It's one income.
It's one income, and at the time, I'm only like a
E2.
E2, E1, E2, maybe something like that. So a lot of what I'm dealing with is financial stuff. So I don't really
You didn't
want
wanna
to
burden her with
burden her or stress this marriage.
So it's
By
almost
being
like
new.
you were looking out.
Pretty much.
You felt like, but then on her side, she's like, he ain't telling me everything.
Right.
And I think that's something that happens in a lot of, marriages
Right.
and stuff like that. Like
well,
the guy,
young marriages.
Yeah,
you
okay,
know.
yeah.
Young marriages. Like I said, it with finances, and finances can destroy a marriage. And I think
There's three things they said it can destroy. It's finances, sexual, and communication.
Yeah.
Those three things right there. And the financial aspect of it, as he can say that at the time he didn't say anything, it was basically like, why should I go to work? You know what I'm saying? If I go to work, we're paying daycare. So daycare supersedes what's coming in. You know what I'm saying? So at that time, I took on watching kids. I wasn't licensed, but I took on watching, how many kids did I have? About 9? I took on watching 9 children.
and for me, like I said, as being the man, it was just trying to figure
Figure it out.
And not having anybody to go to, because I never depended on anybody. I really never asked anybody for anything.
Didn't at all. We didn't.
So, it was like, you're gonna have to figure this thing out. I went and got a second job to try to make ends meet, just so she wouldn't have to. So,
He cut hair on the ship.
yeah, I did a lot of things.
Oh man, hustler. I'm a hustler. I'm a hustler.
He was
Yeah,
barbering on the
I
ship.
did a lot of things.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so in your marriage, what's something that y'all might have argued, like y'all thought it was real serious at the time, but then when y'all think about it, it's like, man, why did we even argue over it? Like y'all kind of laugh about it, like.
Now, I don't know. You know anything that we argued?
She look like she got a couple things.
I'm not even gonna go there. Say that again, Trev. Something.
Okay, so it's like at the time, it could be like 10, 15 years from now. It was serious to y'all. Like it kind of like y'all were arguing about it. But now y'all look back and y'all laugh at it.
Sex, bro.
I was about to go there. Because okay, this is me. Okay. At the time, when you're dealing with you're taking care. When I say taking care of the household, no, I wasn't a cook, but he can tell you that I wasn't a cook. But he never came home to a dirty house. He never had dirty clothes. He never had any of that. He didn't have to worry about any of those type of things. So you're dealing with taking care of the household, taking care of the children, 3 children. Okay, you got 2 kids that are 17 months apart. Okay. So when it's time for you to go to bed, you ready to go to bed. You're not ready to have nobody's sex.
I'm a Navy man.
So at the time, it was just like, oh, I don't feel like that. Or when they say, oh, I got a headache. I was just like,
I'm trying to get it in my youth. I'm the same now. You know what I mean? Now she could look at me and be roll over, go to sleep. I'm good.
But then I realized that being young, you have to take care of that too. So at the end of the day, it's like, okay, I have to have some type of schedule here where I put the kids down and now I make time for him at the end of the day. Because sometimes you can look at your spouse. This is some serious stuff. Y'all better look in the camera at this one, okay? You can really feel like, oh, he's good, right? Because I'm over here taking care of the children. But there's some needs that he has to be met also, which is to be intimately with his wife.
I'm listening.
Because that's some serious stuff. Because it really is. And because I remember my dad saying to me, he was like, we had came home, right? And I think at this point, we were PCS and we were moving to to Virginia. He had got orders to Norfolk. And so we were staying in my mom and his house, right, until we got housing. And so I said to my dad, Dad, and y'all might have to cut this out, I don't know. My dad, I said, Dad, he wants like to have sex. I said, in the house, I just feel like that's so disrespectful. He said, Carmen, he's a young man. and he got needs. And he got wants.
I'm married.
And I'm like, and you're married. And I was like, okay. But again, at the end of the day, you have to make time for that. And that was one of the things just used to be like, oh my God, that was like major. I used to be like, well, I'm just going to cut it out and give it to you.
That would start an argument.
That would start an argument.
But now it's like y'all look back, y'all laugh.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mr. Cromwell once. Can we get him on here? Can we get an episode with Mr. Cromwell, please?
It really wasn't that serious.
It really was not that serious.
Like you said, it was back in the day. It was young.
Yes.
So years. Okay, so what's the funniest experience y'all had together?
We've had a few.
And it could be with the grandkid, because I'm trying to tell you, I'm pretty sure Maya got one of y'all.
One time, I never was one to shut our bedroom door, which, again, look into the camera. You can train your kids to shut your bedroom door,
Definitely need to train your kids to shut
because
the door.
it's okay to shut the bedroom door. I never wanted to
She
shut the
still don't
bedroom
shut
door
the bedroom.
because I never wanted my kids to feel like I was doing something
She
behind those
still
closed doors.
doesn't.
That might sound really weird, but
She
I was
still
like
doesn't
that.
shut the bedroom.
So one time, we shut the door, or no, the door was not shut, but I would just be, it was like I would be like, it was like a lookout, right? And one of the kids came in the room and I said, get off of me! Stop trying to act like you fighting me!
What kid was it? Please don't tell me it was Denasia.
Was it Devron who popped up from
Yeah,
under?
I think
Devron popped up from out the foot of our bed, right?
yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I said, get off of me, Floyd, your dad is trying to wrestle me.
How old was Devon?
Oh God, I can't remember how old he was.
Probably 8.
Oh, so he might remember that.
That was funny.
He may. I don't
I
know.
don't know if he remembers or not, but that was funny.
We've had a few. A lot of our funny times come from family get-togethers. You know, like we play a lot of games.
I tell you, when I was over there that one time, and Denasia sat down, and the kids was like having fun, kind of like jumping up and down. And Denasia said, "Look, my dad gonna come out here and be like, hey, what's all that noise, right?" I'm thinking she just playing. He came out of nowhere and said, "Hey, now, what you doing?"
Yeah, we try to keep funny, just being
I just
funny and the good times.
I think y'all got lucky because y'all got a freaking comedic son named Devron Crockson, who he might come over, he might go to sleep in 10 minutes, but them 10 minutes he up, he gonna say something.
Absolutely. And
those
for
are,
real,
those are moments that we share, we try to capture, and so we try to make those moments. We like taking a lot of pictures too. So
Oh, that's right. We're gonna take a picture of him after this episode. Don't you worry. What's the funniest argument y'all had?
funniest argument. It'd probably be over the kids, something that the kids, either I said to the kids, or she said to the kids.
there was one that was recent that I don't even know what happened or even how it even started. He don't come in the room talking about, yeah, because ain't nobody gonna step to me. I said, huh? Remember? You said somebody gonna step to you, and I said, what's 59?
You was trying to be.
He was talking about somebody stepping to him like a fight.
She was trying to, get a little.
No, it wasn't. He was talking about somebody. I don't know who he's talking about. He was just having a moment. I guess he felt like he still had something in him.
Because she thought she was gonna jump. She could like to scream. And
I was
told her
not.
I can scream too.
Oh, God.
I think I can holler louder than her. But
No, it wasn't. Yeah.
yeah, but anyway, we always chirping at each other. For
About something.
But
And it
then,
don't even.
Yeah, it don't.
It don't even be that serious.
Yeah, it don't. And then I'll go smack her on the butt or something. She'll be all right.
I got him writing these down. It's like, when I get married, she get mad, go smack her on the butt.
Fix her something to eat. Yeah.
That's his favorite. That's his favorite
I
makeup.
feed her,
He feeds me. I'm lying to you not. There was times that like Trev, right? Trev be like, "Where's Unc at?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And Trev be looking at me, and I'm like,
I was kind of torn. That week really hurt me. Like I didn't really know what was going on.
I said, "I don't know. I said he goes and takes a ride. So if he go and take a ride, you guarantee he gonna call me talking about what you want to eat. That is his peace treaty. He likes to feed me.
That's like on Lean On Me when he was arguing with Joe Clark, cussing him out, and then he walked through the door. He said, "Come on, let's go get something to eat."
Yeah, so, I mean, you always end the fight on a good note.
Okay, so early on, what was one habit that drove you crazy about each other? And it could be anything from burping, snoring.
I've gotten over it now, but Floyd likes to put his socks on the side of the bed, and they would gather. There would be multiple socks, pairs and pairs and pairs of socks. Like,
That drove you crazy?
yeah, because there's a dirty clothes hamper. So if there's a dirty clothes hamper, like, why is the socks on the side of the bed? So he would do stuff like that. And then early on, he would leave this toilet seat up. Early on, that was just, and then you go to use the bathroom at night, and then you fall into the toilet. That was just
Not
like,
even looking.
What's up with
What?
the toilet seat? Turn the light on.
that
You
is
said turn the light
horrible.
Look where you sitting down first. That's what you said.
Yeah, now mine with her was snoring. I would try to go to sleep first. Because it's,
Well, you know, I brought snoring up because you told me that a couple times.
oh yeah, she's bad. Yeah, I mean, it's even the kids complain. It's like you seen the cartoon where the whole house sucks in.
Damn.
And kids be like, "Mom." Kids run the room, do something with Mom. She's snoring. I said, so I try to go to sleep first. Doesn't always work, but now I got my fan, so I turn my fan on.
Yeah, that fan, boy. That fan save a life, man.
He said it drowns it on out.
Blocks everything.
Okay, so 3 kids, 2 boys, 1 girl. Was with the 2 boys like? I'm pretty sure it was kind of the same in the marriage, but when Denasia came, she's the girl. So like, did y'all change some things with her? Like,
They said we did.
did y'all get softer?
I don't want to say we got softer. Denasia was the type of kid that if she said she was going to your house, that's where she was going to be, at your house, right? So we trusted her.
Yeah.
Darius said he gonna go over your house. He might be in New York.
Yeah, that's the one we had. That's the one we had to watch. Had to watch him real close.
I used to see Darius play. I'm like, man, what you doing here?
Yeah, he was
He's
the
like, worry about
one.
cuz I'm out.
He was the one who just broke all the rules. Like, he broke all the rules.
He's the middle child.
Yeah, the middle child. He
And there
broke
is
all the rules.
that's a real syndrome,
Yes. Now Devron didn't really do anything.
Devon was a clown.
Yeah, he was the
He was a clown.
he was a comedian.
And
Yeah.
Nate kind of was the proper. Really didn't have to do anything for her. She kind of.
She was self-sufficient.
Yeah, she kind of was born a grown up. I mean,
Like y'all's grandson.
Yes, absolutely.
Jace is definitely,
Denasia was very, very responsible at it.
Yeah,
Her
right.
conversation was
Yeah.
of an adult.
Her-
I used to have to watch myself sometimes because some of the conversations I would have with her would be like, whoa. But she was very mature.
and her daughter mimics her. So yeah, so that's why me and Maya are so close. I think.
Shout out to Denasia. You know, when podcasts take off, she gonna be managing it for me. You know what I'm saying? I just want to let you.
both the girls, my grandbabies, my girls, Dev's daughter, and they're just I don't want to call them grown, but
They've been here before.
Yeah,
they
They got an old soul.
Mackenzie definitely seems like
Yeah, they got old
she
souls.
you know, like you gotta watch what you say around her because she know.
Yeah, they definitely got an old soul.
They're real inquisitive. You know, they want to know and all up in your conversation. So yeah.
So what was okay with the kids? What was the most challenging season y'all had with the kids?
Challenging season.
My challenging season for, well, Devron was the one that went away. That was challenging for me. He's the firstborn. Now he's decided he's going to go into the military at the age of 17. So now we have to actually sign for him to go in the military, which was really hard for me. That
It was hard for you?
Yes,
Yeah. Challenging is letting them go.
letting him go.
letting them go and you know,
Trusting God.
trusting God, and in your mind, just feeling like you've done all that you can do, all the preparations you can do for them to release them out here in the world. Because the world can be cruel, you know.
No, you said you ain't had nothing to worry about with the Nasia, but Darius.
Yeah, so, you know, just
Yeah.
to know that they're prepared for adulthood and to get out here and be on their own. And, you know, of course, you'll be there, you know, for them if something happens. But you just want to know that you've prepared them mentally, you know, physically, to be able to handle the adversities in life and challenges.
Okay, so another thing that I always talk about with y'all is, well, y'all, I don't talk about it with y'all, but y'all say it to me, is looking from the outside in. Like, you know, people see these two perfect human beings. But what is, like, your marriage looks strong, and it is strong. I'm not saying it ain't, but what are some of the things that people don't see? Is it like the disagreeing, you know, like...
People don't see that there is not a perfect marriage. There's not a perfect marriage. There's just two people that I read this somewhere, and I'm kind of paraphrasing, two imperfect people that chose to stay together to work through whatever trials and tribulations that they have because they love one another. And that's just it.
And we go through too, just like the next person. Now, what, like I tell, well,
And let me say this: there's no physical,
Right.
no physical.
Right.
There's no physical. When I say physical, me and Floyd,
Right.
there's no physical. There might be some. We might go back and forth for whatever the case may be. But again, marriages go through the ups and downs.
Not that we need to let everybody see what goes on in our marriage, but for our kids, they need to know that the marriage isn't perfect. And you are going to have some challenges. You are going to have some days where, I mean, you may say some things that you don't mean. That's just marriage, you know. But you got to get it right. You know, we don't. Some days I come home and, again, we go at it. We'll say some things that we don't mean, you know, but that's just out of our natural, you know.
Human beings.
Yeah, we're just
Absolutely.
human,
Yeah,
you
human
know,
beings.
and people look at you and they're like, oh, well, we didn't expect that from them, you know.
I ain't gonna lie, when y'all walk into like the gym, it's like, there they go. You know?
I mean, but
Like,
why not? But we want you to be able to see the bad along with the good,
Well,
because now we can show you that it's not hard to stay together.
No, because I just think the first sight of trouble in new relationships is
to run.
like it's like, you know, like I hate to say, I said it's like the transfer portal. Back when you went to college and you didn't really get along with a coach, you had to really work to gain that coach's trust to want to put you in the game.
Absolutely.
Now you can just be like, oh, I'm going to the portal.
Yeah, yeah,
I think marriage is like that.
absolutely,
Well, I always-
absolutely.
I always call this the microwave generation. You know, back in the day, when you wanted something to eat, you had to go put it on the stove. Or you had to put it in the oven, you had to wait for it.
Now,
you
what
know?
they call that hot pocket.
Now you got 30 seconds and you good. You know what I mean?
You got
So-
the air fryer, you got
right,
the microwave.
everything is.
So you can make
fast.
rice in 90 seconds, right?
96. Come on.
Yeah.
You can a bowl of egg in 12. What is it? 12 minutes.
Yep.
So
I bought my boiled egg maker from Target. Boiled 12 of them things in 20 minutes. You tell me something else, Mom.
So everything is, I want it now, you know. And I think with relationships now, when they don't get what they want, it's easy to say, well, I'm out.
You know, I definitely think that's what I'm scared of. Because I just don't want to like put my time in, and then as soon as like you find out, like I snore or something, or you know
No,
I
that's
look
serious,
crazy
but
in my
some
sleep
people do
apnea
that.
machine, you gonna be like, oh no, I didn't know you had that. I'm leaving.
But I
And
think
I'm going
too,
to tell you, that comes the first time, because she had this thing, man, and well, this probably was one of the funniest things, and she put this. What's the guy's name on? What's that show? The
Hellraiser or something?
Hellraiser. The guy that got all the things on his face. Mm-hmm. I can't think of his name. But she put that thing on one night and laid in the bed, and I'm like, what in the world?
It was the sleep apnea machine.
Yeah, it was sleeping. She had all these things. I'm like,
No, that's when I initially went for the time study.
Yeah.
I sent a picture of me, but then the initial when I put the machine on,
it was something. I was like,
I'm pretty sure it's like, oh, whoa.
we gotta take that thing off. We can't do nothing with that on. We gotta take that off.
Okay, so
but I think Trev, when it comes to the marriage and the generation that we're in right now,
Yeah.
is that when we said better for worse, sickness and health until death does us apart, those are vows, right?
And we take them
And
serious.
we take those vows seriously.
And
Not to say that again that we haven't gone through anything in our marriage. We have gone through some things in our marriage. But what brought us back was God. What brought us back was the vows. What brought us back was the love. You know, and I don't want to get too deep into like scriptures or choke nobody, but there's a scripture in the Bible in 1 Corinthians 13, and at the bottom of it, it says, love pays no attention to a suffered wrong. Now, for some people, that's like, you do me wrong, I'm out of here. No, it says love pays no attention to a suffered wrong. So anything that I've gone through, it's not God can't heal me. Anything that's going through in a marriage, God can heal it. If you want the marriage and you want it to heal and you want to reconcile, you can reconcile. But if you don't want it, you throw away. And now you can just jump in and out, jump in and out. Now you got internet. The internet to me is good in its rightful place. But what do you see? You see the stars. Oh, she ain't over here with him. She's over here with him over here. So it's like you're doing musical beds or musical chairs, and it's okay, but it's not okay.
So what would you tell like Kevin, how long you been married?
Say it again.
How long you been married? When'd you get married?
2015.
Oh, so you've been
So-
married for 11 years.
So, okay, let's just say the people that's getting married in 2020 and above, because those relationships seem to be one and done.
Well, they say the first 7 years are the hardest. They say after you get through the 7 years, you should be good.
That's what they say.
That's what they say.
So, what would you tell a newly married couple right now in the camera watching? What would y'all tell them?
I would say, build trust.
Hello.
You gotta compromise with each other, and you gotta make sacrifices. All that's part of a healthy marriage and dealing with the adversities. I mean, if there's something wrong, just don't give up. Talk about it. Seek God in all things. He gives us instructions on how to deal with marriages.
So, how's faith influence y'all's marriage?
I think, me personally, watching my mom and seeing the faith that she had. I mean, she raised 7 of us with just her, without a man. So I'm the youngest. So seeing what she did, seeing how she did it. When I grew up and got older, I always said that was something that I wouldn't dare see my wife have to go through with my kids. I would always want to provide a stable environment, a home, somewhere for them to be. I hope I'm answering your question.
Yeah.
And faith has a lot to do with that because by faith, we do a lot of things today,
Is faith almost like, in order to have faith, you got to believe, or in order to believe, you got to have faith? Do they go hand in hand?
They say faith is the substance of
faith is a-
things not seen, but things that are hopeful. So in other words, you don't see it, but you believe it.
You believe it. And we've gotten to a point now where a lot of religiosity, however you say it, has gotten so off the chain now, you know, that the younger generation doesn't even want a part of it anymore. You know, it's like, well, why are we even talking about this? And we've got so much to read. And, you know, every time you turn around, somebody's introducing a new book. You know, well, I'm old school, so I'm gonna stay with what worked for me. You know, I'm not gonna go away from that. Yeah, I read stuff because knowledge is power. You know, so of course I'm gonna read it, and I'll seek God in all things to give me what I need. You know, I'm just not gonna let somebody tell me something and for me to believe it. I gotta go study it out and see.
So,
No.
The revelation.
no, you can go ahead. You go ahead.
No, faith is very important for me. I think that when you put God in the center of your relationship, in the center of anything, God is power, God is healing, God is love, God is meek, God is kind. You know what I'm saying? It's like the whole faith thing is what really unites this thing and actually brings it together. So faith for me is very important in a marriage. It is, you know, praying together, you know, communing together, if it's doing a devotional together, all of those different types of things. Learning how to say, I apologize or forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's important. It's very important.
And a lot of the people use faith every day and don't even realize.
I know. I've been using it and didn't
You
even
know,
realize it.
By faith, I'm gonna go out here and start that car. You know, it's
How
gonna
about
start
by faith,
up.
you're gonna push your foot
You
on
know
that
what I
pedal
mean?
and say, hey,
Right.
the brakes gonna
Right.
stop.
Yeah,
Okay?
or we gonna make it home.
That's what I'm
Right.
saying. You know what I'm
You
saying?
know,
That's
so
faith right there. You're gonna get on a roller coaster,
that's-
it's gonna turn you upside
right.
down and around,
Right.
and you got enough faith that's gonna get you back to the.
Got enough faith. You know, by faith, I'm gonna go to this hospital and I'm gonna get a good report. You know, those are all things that we use.
I got my good report on my blood work. Thank you, Jesus.
I know that's right.
And I've had some challenging health experiences.
that's
you know,
another thing.
And
health
you know,
health in a
So would you say
health
like
in a marriage.
prayer played a role in that too?
Prayer played a role
Big
in
role.
every aspect of our marriage. And when I say every aspect of our marriage, even in 2014, I think it was, that Floyd had open heart surgery. He went in for one thing and they said he has 85% blockage in his heart. So him having a surgery out of nowhere was like an eye opener for me. A lot of times people say, well, why does it take for something to happen? Because that's normally the time where it's like you really stop and you reflect on your marriage or your partner, your guy, your girl. And it's like seeing my husband in the hospital.
your person.
Yes. Seeing
Ain't
my
that what they call it
husband-
nowadays, right? That's what the youngins call
Seeing
it.
him
My
in
person.
the hospital on a respirator with all these tubes coming from him, and like going to ICU every night and listening to people's say we're gonna have to gather the family because the loved one's not gonna make it overnight. But I'm coming every night to see my husband, and in this condition, that was really something for me. Even him coming home and nursing him when he came home from the hospital, that was in sickness and health until death does us
And
apart.
that's a process.
That is a
lengthy
process, a lengthy process.
And you gotta trust people when you're dealing with things.
She tell me my trust meter broke. That's what you telling me. She said I need to go to a mechanic shop and get it fixed.
It was to the point where the nurse, when she came in, she would come in, right? And I had this book. I had a book of his medications, book of everything that, you know, that I did during the course of the day. And she said, I don't even need to come. She said, I don't even need to come. She said, because you're doing everything that I would be doing. And again, it was because I was determined that I was going to be that helpmate for my husband, that I was going to nurse him.
And those are
back to
trying.
health.
And those are trying times because I think she said I was mean or I was
He was.
I was angry.
He was.
And I can recall being those things because of the situation I was in. You can't do for yourself, so.
So you might have not been mad at anyone. You might have been mad at yourself, but it came off like you was being mean to everybody
Right,
else.
you just, within, you can't do for yourself, so now, and everything just, you couldn't eat, it was a difficult
Every
time.
little thing you used to do,
Yeah,
now you're just
it
like,
was-
dang, I
couldn't
can't
do anymore.
Yeah, it was a difficult
And
time.
then me to reassure him as his wife, to reassure him, because a lot of times, sometimes as men, the things that you used to be able to do, you can't do anymore. That can be hard.
Yeah.
And me to reassure him that it doesn't matter that you might not be at 100%. I love you anyway. You know what I'm saying? To reassure him that I'm here until death does us apart. I'm here until the end. I'm here. I'm here.
And that's what I think in marriages, we have to get back to that. We have to get back to the vows and not just say them out of being, because it's something that we do.
Sounds
It's cool to put on
Yeah,
Instagram.
Yeah,
Shout out
But we
to
have
not.
to, we have to really mean it when we say it.
So why don't you think couples now? Why do you think couples now don't fight for their marriage the way that the couples used to back in the day?
Because they think grass looks greener on the other side, but it needs to be mowed and weeded and everything else too.
Mm-hmm.
Get over there and there be some hay.
And it's just easier to quit
It's easy to quit.
and just say, I don't want to deal with it no more.
Just think about working out. Let's just use that as an analogy. When you working out, if you want to produce a muscle, what do you have to do?
Work out.
You got to work out to produce that. And guess what they say? No pain,
No gain.
no gain. Don't nobody want to go through the pain of it. It's like labor with a baby. It's like when you're having a baby, like your body is going all out of, this portion and your feet are swollen and your nose is all these different types of things. But you go through the pain of it, but the beauty that comes out. Does that make sense? Like there's beauty in the pain.
And it takes work. Marriage is work. It ain't
It ain't for the
something-
weak.
When y'all come to my wedding, I'm gonna make y'all proud.
My parents have been married 65 years.
We got to get them on here too.
My grandparents was married. My dad's parents were married 60 years with 13 children. So again, I'll say to the young people in your marriage, seek wise counsel. If you having any private issues, seek wise counsel. Wise counsel is somebody that's around you that you've seen that have some longevity of some marriage, or
So y'all would be wise counsel.
Well,
if you want to
if you
consider that.
wanna
Some
consider-
people might not think that.
Yeah, some people may.
Well, they're crazy. And Kev's wise counsel too. 10
again,
plus.
now,
Yeah, absolutely.
And again, you look at the way society and things are today. The younger generation they really don't want to hear from the older generation.
They really don't.
Because they feel like
They know
the
it
way
all.
we did it is the wrong way.
No, they just feel like they know it all.
You know why? Because right now you can go, like I told them one day, I was like, I'm sorry, when I grew up, I didn't have Google. I had a grandmama, I had aunties, I had uncles. I didn't have that. So now you can go and you can just go and you can pop it in. No, matter of fact, you're Siri. Tell me about such and such. And Siri gonna tell you everything.
And look.
So now sometimes I have a streak, I have a side to me. I'm like, don't ask me, go Google it. Since you don't think that I know anything, biblically the Bible says too, that it says a fool despises wisdom. If you got wisdom right in front of you, why wouldn't you seek that wisdom? Why wouldn't you take that wisdom from the older people? I sat at the older people's feet because what they said was gold. I ain't never seen nothing that them old people didn't say to me that didn't come into fruition. Like, they would say things, you'd be like, oh my God, that happened. Like, oh my goodness. But now it's kind of like Floyd said, they don't want to listen to us. I told my kids one day, I said, my mom and dad are 89 and 87, and they still say things to me. I'm 60. I said, if I was to tell my mom and them, I want to hear what you have to say, they might as well go to their grave. So I'm gonna listen to my parents until the day they die. You know why? Because they done lived longer than me. They done been through some things.
And then a lot of them tell you that and still in the same situation. It never gets any better. But you're telling me you know a better way. Well, what's your way?
Well, a lot of couples now just as roommates can't afford to rent or something. That's what I'll be feeling. Sometimes.
If that's what you want, if that's
Nah,
what you
that's
both
not what I
agree-
want.
I'm just saying, if that's what
It's your
you know,
roommate.
if that's what you both agree on,
We
and-
surviving.
right?
Yeah,
Survival.
maintaining.
If that's what you agree on and that's what works for you, then fine. But I choose not to live like that.
Floyd is my friend. He's my friend.
I can tell.
He's my friend. He's
But,
my friend.
you know-
He's a good guy.
You know what made me realize the hilariousness of it is when we went to Colonel Richardson. It was me, you, Devron, and we was trying to pick something to eat, and
Oh,
y'all
okay.
all just started laughing, and I'm like, why everybody laughing? They be like, my dad we gonna name restaurants, and he already know where he wanna go, and so I don't know why he let us go down.
He said, this is what he said. He said, where y'all want to eat at? And we was like, why are you asking us where we want to eat? Because all you're going to say is, I don't want to eat there. So why are you asking us where we want to eat at? And then he was like, there was nothing he could say because guess what? We got him pegged.
Nah, but before I ask y'all these two questions, I do want to thank y'all for coming on.
Oh, that's fine.
I want to thank y'all for giving me a better. Now, so, Kev gives me an example all the time, but he tired of me. Kev tired of me.
Kevin,
Right.
he likes your company.
Because
Yeah, Kev tired of
Trev
me.
likes to go, what's that back in the day, round the Rosie, Monkey Chase the Weasel? He like to go round and round and round and round and hear the same thing over and over again.
Yeah,
I'm
Kev-
not going to keep saying the same thing.
Kev tired of me.
It's like this. If I give you the tools, either you're going to use the tool to fix it or you ain't. Or it's going to stay broke. Don't keep asking me for my tools because you got all of them.
But yeah, I want to thank y'all for giving me the example that I needed to really realize I need to fix a lot of things on myself, especially shout out Miss Auntie Bernadette, Uncle Damon. We gonna get y'all on here too.
And one more thing with your mate, have compassion for your mate.
Yeah, I feel like that's missing too.
Yeah.
Because I feel like as soon as somebody makes a mistake in a relationship or a marriage, just like, oh, that dumbass. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, no, she didn't know what was going. He didn't know what was going on. Like,
Right.
I think I've always had compassion because I had to deal with.
We miss
My
out.
first relationship was kind of like my first real relationship. I really was like, oh man, all right, it's cool. Cause my grandma, I used to go in there and tell girls like, grandma, man, tired of talking to this girl. My grandma used to be like, so what? Forget him, and I'd be like, yeah, forget him. But then when she started getting sick, that bubble that I felt like I was protected by, cause everybody used to tell me like, don't nothing bother him. Sicker she got. That bubble started closing to where I had to really figure out. Now my head is out, and I'm like, oh, I can't handle none of this. Like, yeah, so it was like,
That's good, Trev.
that's what I felt like.
That's good confession. That's good.
Yeah, because that's what I felt like. It was like that bubble, that her protection.
It's
And
like
my-
reality now.
And my mom always used to say, you gonna miss her when she's gone. And boy, and when she started getting sick and started calling me George and Travis, and Monique didn't know, but that kind of messed me up too,
Right.
because I'm like, dang, I'm the face.
Right.
At least
deep,
get my
Trav.
name right.
When you first told me that, I was like, wow.
Yeah, it was definitely like a hard pill to swallow. But yeah, I want to thank y'all for I mean, I was going to barge my way in no matter. Y'all know me since I was little. I was going to find my way up in.
I know that's
Yeah,
right.
but yeah, like my dad even said, he was like, I wish things could have happened a little earlier.
That's why when you started coming around, I was like, Trev, you know what? You're going to see the real of the Crocksons, you know what I'm saying? Because I really don't let people, and when I say I don't let, he really don't let. I used to be like, oh my God, you're so guarded. But I really began to learn how to really protect, when I say protect my family, like a lot of times people don't know how to come in and to really grasp a hold of what's happening within our household. You know what I'm saying? It's foreign to them. Like, it's foreign that we might get into an argument. I'd be like, pass me the salt. He'd be like, here, babe. Because a lot of people stay mad and they stay there.
For no reason.
And
What they say, don't.
never let your anger get to the point where you're actually putting your hands on your mate.
Oh yeah, no, I don't. You know, fortunately, I don't know a lot of situations
That should
like
never-
that. Well, I know one, but I don't know any close situations like that, Timmy. And I would never. There's never a point where it's like you got to put your hands on her.
Yeah, it's
You
not.
know,
It's not even.
Control.
It ain't that deep.
Control, yeah.
I got my nose broke. But I deserved that though because I turned around and she wanted to hit me in the back of the head and I turned around and say shut up man.
Yeah.
So that was karma.
It's nothing. That physical stuff
Yeah,
is not even.
shout out. Yeah, no domestic violence. You know, none of that. None of that. Yeah, like
Keep that
if you,
way.
yeah, if you
If you want to
There-
end it, that's the way to go.
yeah, if there's a lot of women that feel like they've been in that situation for so long. Like that girl told me, like the one she said when he stopped Karen, and then he went back to hitting her. She said, "I felt loved again." That was sick. But it was also like, man, that's what she's used
But
to.
that's what people that's what people equate love to, or the bruiser go away and they'll say,
And some people are scared to get out.
yeah, the bruiser go away and they be like, oh, he said he's not gonna do it again, and then you see him right back in that thing again. But because I've experienced it as far as somebody living next door to us who was getting abused. I mean, every night he would abuse her, and I could hear it.
That was crazy.
Now that was crazy. That was crazy. That was crazy.
He blamed.
Yeah, that's a whole nother
yeah,
story.
you know, yeah.
But yeah, we appreciate you bringing us on here. It's an honor. It's an honor.
No, we coming back part 2. We
Hope
gonna,
it was a help to somebody.
yeah,
Somebody.
yeah. Y'all might
We
have to start
we didn't
y'all.
even really get all deep.
Yeah, I mean,
Y'all might have to start y'all own.
I think, when you sit down and you talk, there's a lot of things that you go through when you talk about, and then you're like, oh man, I could have said this, I could have said that. But, like I said, marriage doesn't come with a book, and it's not hard. It just takes
I
work.
like that.
It's really not hard.
I'm gonna need a book though.
He has. You know what I realized too is he has a personality. I have a personality. We each have a personality, right? So I learn him and he learns me. But you got to study your partner. I know what he likes and what he don't like. I didn't watch my mother pump gas. My dad took the cars out on Sunday, and he would take one car, fill it up, bring it back, take the other car, and fill it up. So I started parking the car in the driveway or in the garage
With the light
with
on.
no gas.
With the light on. And that's one
No
of my
gas.
pet peeves.
But was that a sign to you to be like, hey?
Well, what happened is me and Floyd went to counseling one time because Floyd was going to the Desert Storm, and at that time Devron was having some issues, right? So anyway, we started going to the counseling because we was trying to, to talk Devron through some stuff with his dad being, with the Desert Storm and all that kind of stuff. So as we was in the counseling, I began to start talking because now they was, they wanted to hear from me and Floyd and look at the household and all that. So we're talking, and I kept talking about my dad. By the time that session ended, the man said, no, it was a lady or was it a man?
Lady.
She said, your husband is not your dad. Right. She said, you're charging your husband for some things that your dad did, and he's not your dad. So I would charge him, you gonna put some gas in this car? Because I see my mama not pump no gas. So guess what? That's a pet peeve of his. So guess what I do now?
Put some gas in
I
the car.
put some gas in the car.
Well,
Easy
she does
fix.
it when she's. But
I
most
do.
Of the time,
If it gets
most
down
of
to
the
that
time,
point, I don't
do.
park it no more. I say this. He does it. He cleans the cars and he puts the gas in there. But to let it get down to E, I don't do that.
She drive with the light on.
Oh, when they say, you got 35 miles left.
Floyd was saying, Floyd said, how many gas stations did you ride by before you got home? And I would start counting. I said, about 4 or 5 and going up the steps.
Okay, so my last question right before we let it go. What are you guys most grateful for in this 35+ year marriage you guys got?
That we're still together.
And that I can grow with him because we have grown from 14 to 59 and 60. He'll be 60 this year. We'll be 60. I mean, I'm already 60. I'm a year older than Floyd, but that we've been able to grow through the pains.
Y'all hear that?
I'm gonna say that again.
Watching the grass.
We have grown through the pains, and we are going to continue to grow through the pains. Because guess what? Ain't no pain, ain't no gain.
Don't nobody need to know how old you are. I'm 20.
Floyd.
He said I'm 20.
Okay, y'all, he said he's 20. I'm going to tell y'all right now, I'm proud to be 60, okay?
We ain't say you was.
I'm proud. He can be 20, I'm 60.
Yeah, I'm 20.
Man, you know we're gonna have part 2 of this. We gotta bring everybody on now.
The kids too?
Yeah. You don't think that'd be a good idea?
Yeah, because they'll go ahead and they'll
You
listen.
gotta have Maya.
Mine turn the whole place.
Yeah, what? Maya start pushing the mic. If you say something she don't
Lord
like,
have mercy.
she gonna push the microphone
It'd
away.
be a whole situation. But I again, Trev, I thank you because
Yeah, thanks
you
for
don't
having
even
us.
you don't even realize that we have been places where people said that that God was going to use our marriage as a platform to help other people. And at the time, you don't really think nothing of it. You just be like, oh, okay. And so then when it presents itself, who did we know? Who would have known that it would have been Trevor that would be interviewing and doing the podcast for marriage? Who would have known? No, I would have known that. You know what I'm saying? But here we are, and I hope that we have been
You've been a help.
a help or a blessing to some young people, some older people. You know that that is a help because that's the purpose of.
Look, you know.
Y'all hear that? So when y'all ask me to come on because y'all smoke weed and sell weed, and I don't hit y'all back, like.
That's not what the platform is
Yeah,
for.
we don't have nothing to talk about. If you want to come on here and say how you hate your baby mother, we not doing that. If you want to come on here because you was cool with me when I was in high school and we have nothing to talk about, you're not coming on. Other than that, and if Kevin don't like you, don't do it.
Kevin's like, what do I have to do with this?
Good luck, everybody.
Yeah, but
Blessings upon blessings upon blessings.
that's another episode of the Whatever Trevor podcast. And like I said, everybody keep the faith and we're going to be all right.
Whatever Trevor.